The Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty Center for Competitive Federalism exists to advance the competitive federalism as envisioned by our founders and as outlined in our Constitution. Recently, we became aware of this issue taking place in Sheboygan County. What we see here in Sheboygan is a perfect example of a federal law that provides absolutely no flexibility to local states to actually monitor their own air, to work with local businesses, community leaders to actually craft a solution that fits their state.
It affects people who want to move here. They look at the air quality standards that are published out there, and they put their hands up and go, do I really want to move to Sheboygan County? But yet we constantly get a rating as one of the most economical, people-friendly, school-friendly, children-friendly, business-friendly counties in the Midwest. There's a lot of reviews out there.
Heavy ozone is something we see quite a bit on the eastern coast of Wisconsin, something along the Lake Michigan shoreline. We don't really see it inland. We don't see it in other areas of Wisconsin. One of the primary reasons that we see it along the eastern coast of Wisconsin is because it's transport pollution from other states. So we see a large number of those precursor pollutants emitted from the Chicagoland area, Gary, Indiana, and they combine in the sunlight over there. It's essentially an oven for ozone. It produces a significant amount of ozone, which is then blown by the wind right along the Lake Michigan coast. What we see in Wisconsin is a poorly constructed air monitor network that has a lot of riparian air monitors that are very close to the shoreline, picking up this ozone, not measuring actual air quality within the counties, but measuring the air quality that's cooking over Lake Michigan and blowing right along the shoreline. As we go further inland with more air monitors, we see the ozone dissipates quickly. We see that it's not an air quality concern for many of the counties just along the shorelines, and that's largely due to the pollution formed elsewhere that enters those counties. It's not pollution that's formed within those counties. Ozone is then regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency using the attainment standards. The attainment standard is currently set at 70 parts per billion, and any area that goes at or below that standard meets the standard. If you go above the standard, you are in non-attainment. When you hit non-attainment, you have a certain set of heightened environmental regulatory standards that impact your area, and every business in the area have to abide by them.
The other restriction it puts on you is when a customer comes to you, they come to me with a problem that we came up with a solution that happened even just a year or so ago. It required a new piece of equipment. So for us to get a new piece of equipment, it takes 3 to 4 months to get through regulations to get that equipment installed. It might only take you 3 weeks to get that piece of equipment, but it takes 3 to 4 months to go through permitting to get that piece of equipment installed. From a business standpoint, what it's costing us is time and money. We have a competitor that's really in the next county. Same volume in a year. If you look up their permit online, you compare it to our permit, we're both doing the same volume. Their permit is like 2 pages long. My permit is 14 pages long. I have a lot of restrictions in my permit that I have to report and follow. They don't have those for making the same process.
A manufacturer that wants to site a new location in Sheboygan County is subjected to more restrictive requirements than other counties. For example, a new manufacturer might have to put in more expensive pollution control equipment. Another requirement is this issue of offsets.
So anybody who looks to grow an operation or site a new facility in a non-attainment zone has to find emission offsets before they can grow or put new emissions into the atmosphere.
A new manufacturer would have to find an emission reduction at an existing facility in Sheboygan County before they get the approval, the air permit for their new plant. Sometimes these offsets aren't available, and if that's the case, you can't get your permit for the expansion.
We call these areas no-grow zones. When you're a non-attainment zone, you literally cannot grow. It's actually, in fact, a a shrinking zone for economic development, which creates trouble and problems for any area that finds themselves in that situation, which many Wisconsin communities are looking at now under the new ozone standards.
Our local manufacturers are incurring expenses because of communities to the south and their transport pollution traveling up the coast and being measured by the Kohler Andre monitor. Our local manufacturers strive constantly for continuous improvement, to pursue sustainability initiatives, and to be environmentally friendly. And one story that we have, actually, a business owner shared with me that he had a family member looking to relocate to Sheboygan from Oregon. One of the things they checked was our air quality, and they saw that the American Lung Association gives Sheboygan County an F. And even though our air quality is improving annually, they decided not to move here. So how many other potential workforce candidates have we lost for those 2,500 jobs that are available because of our air quality or perceived air quality?
When you find yourself in a non-attainment zone, residents of those areas can also be impacted depending on how severe the non-attainment is. You could find yourself having to go annually to get your dreaded emissions test. It's a burden on the people of those counties. There's almost any number of regulatory solutions that the state could impose on the residents of those counties, whether it's restrictions on when you can mow your lawn, drive your car, run other engines. It's a limitless burden that could hit people of those communities, and it's in Sheboygan County in particular and other Wisconsin lakeshore counties, something that's not the fault of those people in those counties. They're paying for other states' pollution, and there's nothing that they can do to get out of that burden because of an inflexible federal law.
Congress needs to act now. There are simple solutions that Congress can enact, that Congress can work with the EPA to provide the flexibility to the state of Wisconsin, to local municipalities, to local business owners, to craft a solution that works for them.